pouring the beans in.
So what are you doing, Sam?
Pouring the beans in.
Pouring the beans into the chili.
Canola
And now what are you going to put in?
tomatoes.
Tomatoes.
After I strain.
Chopped tomatoes, right?
Yep.
Just stir it up a little bit. Now you can pour the tomatoes in.
Diced tomatoes.
Chopped diced tomatoes. Don't do that. Don't drain. Sorry about that. Don't drain the liquid off. You jump the whole thing in. Okay? Sorry about that.
Yeah.
Stressful moment in the kitchen. No, all the liquid is very important in the recipe.
But I never knew that. You never told me that.
Sorry about that. You don't drain the tomatoes. You drain the beans, but not the tomatoes. Now, we also need some tomato sauce, but not the whole can.
Tomato sauce, half the can.
So it calls for our recipe, which is right here, calls for, Tim's going to continue opening while I read the recipe. The recipe calls for how much tomato sauce? It says 1 15-ounce can. How many ounces in that can, Sam? What ounces? It says right here on the front. Down below. Way down below. How many ounces?
24 ounces.
24 ounces. So we only want 15. So we want a little more than half of that can. Okay? But don't put any more than half. Got it? So pour that in. And then if it's going to be chili, I think we need chili powder. And we'll get that out in a minute.
Yep.
So a little more than half, but not the whole can.
So that's a quarter.
Okay? That's good. Want me to look inside? That's perfect. Okay. Now you have to stir that up
Then get the chili powder.
and then get the chili powder out of the cabinet. And let's put in, it calls for 2 tablespoons of chili powder. You can use a spoon perhaps would work better than that spatula now, Sam. Put the spatula away so you don't dump it all over the stove. Okay, bud?
Okay.
Put that in the sink and go ahead and get a spoon. So give it a good stir. And why don't you get the chili powder out? So has this taken you a long time to cook, Sam?
Not too long, but it is pretty long.
Yeah, maybe 15, 20 minutes. And Mom chopped the veggies, so. In the way back in a container, Sam. It's in the way back in the back. Yeah, that's right. No, it's in one of the very tall containers.
Oh, chili powder.
Okay, let's keep moving so we can get our video finished and we can get that chili done. And we should probably turn it down because it sounds like it's bubbling over a little bit. But get the chili powder out first. And maybe you have to take a few items out. Yes.
Taco seasoning, beef bouillon, perfect blend,
Next time, maybe to save time, we should take the ingredients out first and have everything out. Okay, don't worry about putting everything back. You can do that in a minute. Okay, so let's go over to the stove and get a tablespoon measure out of the drawer. Next time, for video purposes, we'll get it out sooner. Okay, don't worry about looking at the camera. So you're going to put 2 tablespoons in there. Why don't you work on the other counter? Because then you're right next to where you're working. Take the top off. That's good. And why don't you work there? Okay, so, and that bowl's in the way. You might want to move it. So try not to spill it. If you need, do it over the bowl so we don't get so much on the floor. Or you don't want to overfill with too much chili powder. Over the bowl is safer. Because if you made it too hot, it would be a little too spicy. Do we need to turn our temperature down, Sam?
Probably.
Okay. So turn it down to maybe 3 or 4 on the stove. Not high, because you'll burn it. Okay, are you ready to pour in the chili powder?
I gotta level it out.
Well, it's okay if it's a little over.
Here, let me see here.
That's good. Just throw it right in. Put it right in, Sam. You don't need the lid. It doesn't need to be level, Sam.